the things in your life that are not that, or are getting in the way of that. And you know, the bigger the change, the bigger the release. When you are in that space and you are finally stepping into the new things, the new behaviors, habits, lifestyles, the new clothes, the new relationships, the new jobs, the new ways of being, whatever it is for you, it's almost as if throughout the span of time, while you are actively making these changes, after you've crossed the threshold into your new life, your new world, this new version of yourself, it takes time for physical reality to kind of catch up. And it's almost as if like the first actions that you took towards the new thing needed to go before deeper layers that needed to be released. I don't think I use words very articulately there, but what I'm saying is that releasing and clearing space and preparing to receive these blessings and stuff, it happens in layers, and I am driving through a military zone right now, and this area is right on the border of Mexico, and the EMFs are they literally make my head feel like it's gonna explode. It's the most wild sensation ever, and I just felt a wave of that. Every time I go on a drive, I feel like a surge of disorienting, crazy energy. I don't know if any of you sensitive people can relate, but EMFs are insane, and the surveillance here is insane. Anyway, yeah, so it's throwing me off a little bit, but actually, I kind of want to talk about that too, symbolically. So anyway, yeah, it takes processing and releasing things in layers to open up to more of what is promised to you, more of what is meant for you. And that means that even though you have already made so much progress, you might have days where you feel like there's a setback, or everything is just kind of crumbling in the same kind of emotional way that it used to crumble. But I want you to remember this and keep this close to your heart for next time you feel this way, that it's not a setback. It's not a setback. It's not a sign that you are doing something wrong. It's not a sign that you failed where it is that you're going. It's a sign that you're finally in a place where you're safe enough to purge the exact things that you are finally purging right now. And purging is not comfortable. It's like throwing up. It's painful. But that pain of vomiting doesn't mean that something's wrong with your body. It means your body's doing exactly what it's supposed to by releasing. So remember that. The second thing I want to get into is, I just went off on a mini tangent about the EMFs and stuff around here. So quick story, I picked this area to stay in for a few nights because it was in the middle of a few Google Earth points of interest for me. And, I love exploring nature and everything. So I saw these parks, and I'm on my way to one right now. And I wanted to, be in a central location in the middle of all of these parks. So I found this town, and I knew nothing about it going in, and I realized once I got here that the energy is horrible. It's absolutely horrible, and it triggered this sense of complete disgust and almost volatility in me between the arid landscape and wind gusts being at least 25 miles an hour on a daily basis, and the fact that whenever I would go on a hike or on a trail in some of these nearby parks that I was wanting but there were multiple times where I was the only soul within miles that I could see, and that kind of freaked me out. Like, I'm down for, solo hikes and stuff, but to be in an area where there's arid desert and 25-mile-an-hour wind gusts at least, and mountain lions and coyotes and, predator scat on the trails, and I get these wafts of, like, gamey animal smell, and I even saw a mountain lion paw print a couple days ago when I was here, actually, and I was on a faraway part of the trail, and I saw a gigantic mountain lion paw print, and I'd never seen one before. And then wild boars as well. I was on a separate hike, and I smelled one right in the habitat where it hangs out. So I was reflecting on this, and honestly, I was processing with ChatGPT because it's a great therapist / friend when I don't have someone to talk to in the moment. And it mirrored to me that this environment is, or sometimes in life, we cross through thresholds or environments that trigger certain emotions or qualities or states of being in us that catalyze certain emotional releases. And it's like we need to kind of feel the grit on the outside from something that triggers us in order to metabolize the deeper layers of emotional or nervous system trauma that we went through, that we are now finally in a place where we're ready to process consciously, to bring those visceral, gritty emotions up into our conscious awareness and to feel it through our bodies and to integrate that on a more full, deep level. So those are my 2 insights that I have to share. I hope that this helped you today. I'm going to leave this here. Please like, comment, subscribe if you feel inspired to. It helps my channel grow. It helps videos like these reach people who might need to hear them. If you're watching this before June 30th, check my description for my upcoming event that I'm hosting about teaching you psychic and intuitive skills to cultivate your inner trust, your inner knowing, your confidence, your faith, all things that are often robbed, stolen, or become seemingly more elusive when we endure emotional abuse or environments or things that chip away at our sense of self and our truth and our connection to what's real. Sometimes that becomes distorted through whether it's emotional abuse or just noise of the world. So in this workshop, I'm going to teach you some tools that I've learned that have helped me reclaim my intuition, my knowing, and ultimately my deep-seated peace. That's still grounded center that I can return to every time I feel off kilter. And I will say that today and yesterday are a couple of those days for me. Like, I am having some really intense emotional releases right now, and going through some massive life changes, and I've been processing some emotional events that are really helping it set into my nervous system that this is the reality and this is what I need to surrender to and accept. And I'm finally in a place where I can accept the cold, hard truth in certain areas that before then I wasn't even in a place where I could accept that or integrate it into my life, into my habits, into my beliefs and my actions. Hope that makes sense. And also, if you feel inspired and you want an unbiased, energetic reflection through a psychic and intuitive reading, I offer those as well. But I will say, only do it if you feel called, if you want a reflection. And, it's a risk because you don't really know what I'm going to feel or think or pick up on, and I don't know either. And I don't know if this is a great way to sell my readings, but I love doing readings, and I love offering my energetic snapshots of what I perceive, what I feel, what I sense in someone's energy field. And I think that can help to integrate and ground certain patterns, certain core underlying patterns and themes, because that's my specialty and my love. I love patterns, and I love listening to the undercurrent of kind of what's going on. And if you feel called, then I do offer readings with or without tarot cards, and it's up to you. And the info for that's in the description. And that is all.